Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Mindset edition of the Live, Build, Change podcast. My name is Kerry Green. If you don't know who I am, I'm just a retired pastor who is trying to put out some daily 5-minute shots to the soul to help us get our minds right in the morning so that we can live the day with greater intentionality and with greater confidence and power because we've filled ourselves with the truth of God's Word to meditate on and stand on for the day. I've been doing that most recently by looking at the account of the Exodus of Israel out of Egypt, contained in the book of Exodus, and the life of Moses, the man who led them, who was called to lead them by God. And we're up to chapter number 14. Chapter 14 is a glorious chapter because it's where God basically brings everything to a close in terms of how Israel is connected to Egypt. Israel had been slaves in Egypt for over 400 years, and God leads them out through the leadership of Moses and through many mighty miracles, mighty judgments that he brought on the land of Egypt. And they're out in the desert. They come up to the Red Sea, and this is the chapter where God parts the Red Sea. He splits this ocean in half so that the people of Israel can walk across. And it says they walk across on dry land. And it's interesting. I encourage you to read chapter 14. I'm not going to read all of it this morning. But what you'll see is that when they come up against the sea, the people are crying out to Moses, Didn't we say to you, leave us alone? Let us serve the Egyptians? It would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the desert. And Moses says, do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance of the Lord that he will bring about today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. And is that a reassuring word or what? I mean, they were afraid. They were up against the sea. They could see Pharaoh's army coming. And God had promised himself. So this is where God is on the line to prove himself. And we all have these kinds of experiences where we might lose a job. We have a financial crisis. We have a cancer diagnosis. We have all kinds of things that happen in our lives. And God is on the line, so to speak. We are tempted to doubt him. And we have to discover, is he going to be faithful? Is he going to prove himself faithful? Is he going to keep his word that he will care for me in this? Now, we have to be careful because our definition of what his care for us might look like is not always what he does, because he is God. He's beyond us. And I'm certain that none of these people who are up against the Red Sea ever even imagined that he was going to part the water and enable them to walk across on dry land. It could have even been a frightening thing to actually walk across because there were walls of water up on the sides, and would they come crashing down immediately? You know, all those kinds of things are part of the situation. Now, we are in that place almost every day of our lives. We have the opportunity to doubt God or to trust God. And these accounts, like here in the book of Exodus, have been given to us to show us that our God is faithful, to remind us of what he's done in the past. And it is that same God of might and power who is available to us now. And we can't, like I said, define what it's going to look like, but we can be confident he will care for us because he has committed himself to us as his children. And in Israel's case, he parted the water and let Israel run past while he delayed Pharaoh's army by being between them and Israel as a pillar of fire and a cloud. And then when he let Egypt go in, he crashed the waters down and took out the entire army in one swoop. Our God can do mighty things, and he has committed himself to us. What do we have to fear? You have nothing to fear today. I have nothing to fear today. This day is a victorious day because of our God. Let's trust him today. Let's rest in him today. I'll talk to you tomorrow.